Welcome back to another episode of Bad Decision Garage. Today we're doing Poverty Tour prep work. I've decided to go on Poverty Tour 2026, so we are going to take the 1967 Bonneville that I pulled out of a farm place. So we're going to have to get this thing ready for a 3,000 plus mile truck. Shouldn't be no big deal, I guess. We know it runs and drives. Tires work. Well, we need new tires, but got different rims for it. I think it's making it style out good. But for today, the main goal will be getting that carburetor off to get that cleaned and rebuilt. I got a rebuild kit there. I actually have a giant box of parts here. Let's go through some of these parts and see what I actually have here and see what we will be actually replacing and what will just be going in the trunk for spares on the road. Because if it ain't broke, why fix it? First things first, got us a new air filter. We haven't had one of them yet. That's nice. Got our carb rebuild kit here. Like I said, this will be a very crucial one. Yeah, got our carb rebuild kit there. Got a voltage regulator for the old alternator charging system. That is just going to get put into the trunk. So we'll start a separate pile over there of trunk parts. Transmission filter kit, that's getting done. Got a 160 thermostat, that's getting done. Got a pair of radiator hoses. Those are going in the trunk. Got a water pump. I bought a water pump just for peace of mind. We may do the water pump actually. I don't know. We'll play that one by ear. That might just get put in the trunk for an on the side road repair if need be. Got valve cover gaskets here. Them need to get done. Got a fuel pump. That's an on the side of the road repair. Ours works just fine. Got a pair of U-joints for the drive shaft. Get those done just so we don't have any issues. Spark plug wires, those get done. We'll toss the old ones in the trunk as spares. I got a bunch of new lug nuts because I was missing a couple and Rock Auto had them on sale for 12 cents a piece. Got some front sway bar links because I seen when I was under there earlier that the bushings were pretty shot, so we'll just put some of those in, maybe help some of the sway of this big old battleship. Intake gasket, we technically just need to replace that O-ring, possibly. It was seeping on the Bonneville. It's the between timing cover and intake gasket, or intake manifold. I'm not so sure I'm gonna replace it. This will probably get tossed in the trunk. If it becomes a real problem, like can't keep up with putting coolant in it or like severely leaking or overheating, I guess I'll do some intake gaskets on the road. And then, what is this guy here? Oh, distributor cap and rotor, definitely getting done. Got ourselves a thermostat gasket and some good old spark plugs, some 45S's, I guess, sure. And then got front and rear shocks for it, and we'll be doing those. So in reality, those parts there will go in the trunk, and we're not going to worry about them. That's the intended goal here. So like I said, first things first, I'm going to get this carburetor off, and then I also bought an ultrasonic cleaner over here that we're going to see how well that works out. Going to put the carb in there and let it bake, cook, clean, whatever you want to call it. Well, we'll let that simmer while we're doing the rest of the stuff today. So let's get started. Okay, I'm gonna take this carb off, this vacuum line, throttle linkage, fuel line, choke tube, vacuum line, a couple more vacuum lines in the back, I'm sure, and 4 bolts. Well, let's get this off and tore down and toss in the ultrasonic cleaner quick. So I will set you guys up on the tripod over here and I'm gonna get to work. All right guys, I already popped this vacuum line off in the throttle cable, no big deal. Let's see if we can get this fuel line cracked loose. Oh, Jesus. There we go. Fuel line's cracked loose. Perfect. I'm gonna take this time when the carburetor's still bolted to the intake to break loose this. There's a filter in here, I believe. So I'm gonna use this time to break that loose too. There we go. Let's see what this looks like once. Oh yeah, there is a little brass filter in there. Like I was saying, I don't know if it's super clogged up or not, but there we go. We'll just shove him back in there for now, and it's at least broken loose. All right, next thing would be, I'm gonna disconnect this choke tube, which is kind of just like a flare nut. Got that disconnected. Pull vacuum lines off. There's one over there. And then it seems like there's a few that go into this Christmas tree branch thing in the back of the carb. We'll get to that later. And a 1/2 inch for the 4 carb bolts. Oh, that broke loose nice and easy. Nice and easy. I can't see going off feel. That feels about right. Done. Uh-oh, where's this one at? Oh. I see what this one deal is. I need a pliers, because I'm pretty sure this is a vent bolt. It is. Cool. Grab a pliers, pop that vent tube off, and we will be able to finish getting the carb off. Grab the shittiest pliers in the world. Yeah, don't even know if it's gonna get the job done. All right, come on. There we go. Oh, I just broke that vacuum tee, so that's good. We'll have to get one of them, I'm guessing. And then pull that vacuum line off and those thread in, so we'll get to them with a wrench. Yes, very good. Keep it going. Just like that. Yep. What's going on, Josh? Geez, long-winded this thing is. Oh, there it is. Nice. Still long-winded. 9/16. If we can get on it. There we go.
A bunch of shit you ordered from Rock Auto.
I don't know if those are the new receipts or not, but yes, a bunch of the parts are on the shelf behind the camera.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Almost there, I think. Gotta be close.
Well, since you're gonna be going to the other side, should we put the ultrasonic cleaner on the other side right away?
I mean, it doesn't need to for today. We can just set it up and see if it works.
'Cause I gotta make some room over here otherwise.
Oh, just put it on the ground for now.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
But yeah, we will set it up on the other side of the garage when I get that all organized and set up. Who knows, maybe if the thing's super loud and annoying, it will go to the other side while we're doing the other stuff, so.
That's what I was asking.
I don't know how loud it is.
That shouldn't be too loud. And there's, like I said, I'm gonna shed it over here, put it on the ground.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4 carburetor fasteners off. And we got ourselves a Carter AFB ready to get disassembled and cleaned. All right guys, just using some of the worst parts cleaner of my life just to give it a rinse off of like all the crud first. You know, don't need to ruin everything. All right, get her somewhat cleaned up. Can't say, I think I've maybe rebuilt one AFB in my life, so gonna be a slight learning curve also here. Pretty much looks very similar to like an Engelbrock, so I'm not too concerned. And the rebuild kit does have a super cool parts breakdown and exploded view, so I have zero fear of it going back together. Oh, need a flathead screwdriver for, looks like all of it. Get yourself a good flathead. That's what a guy's gonna need here. All right, got all the top plate screws out. Let's pull this top plate off quick. See what we're working with. It's kind of a pain because the gasket needs to come with the top plate, and obviously it doesn't want to come with the top plate. All right, we got the top plate off here. Gaskets are all, you know, well reusable, if one needed to, I guess, could say, if you patched it together right. Be careful not to bend your metering rods here. We'll get them pulled out to the top here before we put this in the ultrasonic cleaner. We'll get the needle and seats out here, which they were hanging there on the bowls, or on the floats.
The floats are crushed, that's nice.
Yes. I could say it is dirty. I would not, it wouldn't be an understatement. So it's real grody in here. Kind of a, of course she ran, you know, she's a Pontiac, but there's the base gasket.
Crusty.
Very crusty. Yep. There's the gas that was still in it. We'll just
Dump that on the floor.
Oh man, there is a lot of big deposits in here actually. Holy.
I wonder why it didn't run the greatest.
Yeah. I wonder what these, we're gonna have to get these jets out. Oh my. Yes. Yeah, so there is some shit down in the old carburetor there, you know, that ain't too good for her, so we're gonna end up cleaning her out. I'm gonna keep pulling out the Venturis and everything, get everything pulled out and separated, and then, like I said, I have an ultrasonic cleaner that I'm gonna try out today, and we'll see how she does, how she turns out to be. Linkage or something, we'll figure that out later. Let me just take a gander here once.
Take a picture, maybe?
No need, we have a breakdown.
Okay.
the next thing I'm gonna do is, since half the carburetor is in the ultrasonic right now, it doesn't fit the whole carburetor, whatever, we can do halves and halves. I'm gonna get the belts off this thing because I gotta run back to town to get the correct battery because they sold me, I was an idiot also, I didn't really know what I needed, but they sold me one where the terminals were flip-flop, so I'm just gonna go exchange it for one that's the right one. But while I'm making a trip to town, I might as well also pick up some belts. So that'll be the thing I'm gonna do now, is just get all 3 belts off. It's not that exciting. Just letting you guys know that when you see it again, it won't have belts. And that's the reason why. Okay, got the carb off, that's getting cleaned. Got belts off. We got new ones of those. Next thing we're gonna do, or I'm gonna do, is cap and rotor, plug wires, plugs, and valve cover gaskets. And in order to do valve cover gaskets and even possibly this front spark plug, because as you can maybe see where that wire runs down there, I think I gotta swing this. I know I definitely have to take this bracket off there to get the valve cover off. So I think I'm gonna drop that bracket, and then if I drop these 2 front bolts on this aluminum bracket here, I think the AC pump will swing enough out of the way for access for everything. So that's what I'm gonna work on. Next, I'll get you guys set up on the tripod and we'll get to it. Well, let's start with, the easy side. There's a good possibility, I get severely injured on this side and somebody else has to do the other side. We can only hope. But let's get spark plug wires off. Get spark plugs out. Get the new ones gapped. And then get them put in. And maybe we'll just actually even look at these ones and see what they tell us, because the spark plug wires really don't look all that old on this thing. The spark plugs do look fairly old on this thing, so let's get them out once. Just gonna bust them all loose, and then we'll grab the electric ratchet and rip them out. And looking at this valve cover gasket area, I'm really glad I bought valve cover gaskets. All right, now that they're all busted loose, 7/8 of these spark plugs are going to be super easy to change. Oh, don't drop it. Well, there she is. They're not the worst. Could probably just get cleaned up and reused, so I'll keep them around. And we got some 46S's, and I think we got some 45S's going back in it. So we're changing heat range just a little bit. I can't recall which one's hotter or colder on the AC Delcos, but that one there literally has something bridging the gap, so she would have blown right out. Yeah, they're not the worst spark plugs ever. But like I said, I got new ones that we're gonna put in and new wires, cap and rotor. And we should have a good ignition system. Yes. Another thing I'm gonna do is replace the valve cover gaskets because I'm pretty sure that's just active oil right there on the side. So we'll get them off. I got Josh gapping my plugs for me. Such a nice fella. While he's doing that, I'll rip these valve covers gaskets off, valve covers off, and get the new gaskets put in. Let's see here, 7/16. I feel, or are they 3/8? Oh, 7/16. All right, 4 bolts for the valve cover, nothing too crazy. On this side, peel that bad boy up. Gotta peel back a couple wires and stuff. What is holding us up here? Oh, they have washers. They all had washers. Should gather those before they fall. Oh no, that's not a washer, that's a bracket holding these wires on. There we go, nice. And just like that, the valve cover's half of it's missing, which tells me it needed to be replaced anyways. Yes. Very nice, picking out chunks. But that does good for us because that means this is going to be super easy to actually clean the gasket off. Something just like that. Some old rubber gaskets from, I don't know.
Vietnam era.
Yeah. From the Nam era. Where'd you put that garbage bag?
Where you left it, sir?
I see that. Let's just take a look in here once. You know, I don't see any bent push rods. I'm gonna call that a win. Go grab my razor blade to clean this up a little bit, a couple rakes, some parts cleaner, and we'll slap some new valve cover gaskets on this thing, on this side in a hurry. There, okay, cool. I'm gonna just wipe her down with the rag and we'll slap some new gaskets on her. It's got to seal better than what it was, so either way, it's a real win. Got some cork, fell praise. Oh, corkies. This ought to be fun. I normally glue these. I don't have any sort of a hearing. So let's go slap this bad boy down there. Kapow. Kapow. long as we get that guy to sit down properly.
Yeah, that bottom one's gonna be the issue.
Yeah, we'll get it. Let me grab a bolt quick. Lift this back up. You wanna...
Get out of the way.
Yeah. Lift that one up. Make sure our gasket's pulled down. Yep, cool. Got it pinched. Put bolt in. Let's make sure our gasket's lined up here. Now bolt and get the gasket walked up into place. And then we got this. Oh, yep, okay, good. Stupid bracket that's got to go on here. That holds everything nice and tight. Sure. Get that slid into place. Get that one started. Nice. Very good. Let's get a little bit of light on this subject back here and see what's happening. Oh no, where'd the bolt go? Oh, there it is. Get it. There we go. This one's fighting me just a slight tidbit. There we go. And alright. There's one bolt. There's two. And there's three. There's four. And we'll just go back over the rest of them. Make sure we're good and tight. Boom. Valve cover gasket done. Push a couple wires back down into their holding place. And like I said, that was the easy side. Now let's get these spark plugs tossed in. We'll thank Josh for gapping them for us. Thank you, Josh. Get them all kind of hand started.
Electricity over here.
I don't know. 2,
the communists are attacking our power grid.
That's very possible. And I'm guessing they'd start with rural America. And there we go, they're all hand started. Alright, snug them up with the ratchet, and we'll be done. Very good. That's this rack of plugs done. Like I said, this was the easy side. And then I guess we can just plug our wires in too so that we know where they're at right now. Dude, at least hang them on their perspective plugs. There we go. Boom. Let's move on to the other side, which will be a lot less fun. Okay, on to the fun side. Like I said, I think I'm just gonna drop this bracketry for this AC pump once, hopefully, and it'll give us enough room to swing it out of the way and get to the plugs, the wires, and the valve cover gasket. You know, we're gonna try to do a one fell swoop, gets them all type of deal. Nope, don't lose that spacer.
Yeah, it's falling.
That is a spacer. Okay, there's another giant spacer. And I feel like if we take this bolt out, which also has a spacer, all right. And then let me see if I come over here, can we just, that is about as much room as we're gonna get, and I think it'll be enough room to make things happen. I don't know, that spark plug's still gonna be shitty to do, but we'll be able to do the valve cover gasket. We'll get that done. That's that bolt, and then we can get the valve cover gasket off, or valve cover off. So that's super cool.
You don't think you have to take that bracket off?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said you had to. Oh. Ow, wow. That really hurt. Would I pinch that between that hose clamp? Wow.
Yes.
Jesus. Oh. That really hurt. That's a 1/2 inch back there. That's a 7/16 socket that I grabbed. Here's my 1/2 inch. Oh, look at that, another spacer. All right, get the bracket that was on top of the valve cover off. Set that over there. We'll take this bracket and just bend her up for now. No need to remove it. And then we will get to taking this valve cover off. That hurt. Where did my short extension go? Yes. Wrong size socket. What? Oh no, it was just super loose. There we go. All 4 bolts for the valve cover are out, and let's peel this one off as well. That gasket is fairly actually intact. I mean, until I started touching it, but you know, she's ready to get replaced. That's for sure. But the fact that it peels off like this means that the cleanup of it is super easy. Just hit this with the whiz wheel all the way around where the gasket sits. All right, clean enough for what we're doing. Let's get this valve cover gasket tossed on. Do the same method that we did last side. Okay, oh, there it is. All right. Bolt in.
Sounds good. Alright.
Make sure it's sitting on the.
No problem.
Boom.
Yep, see you later, bud.
There we go. Got that one started. I got that one started. And get this one started and just make sure our gasket's all in place where it needs to be.
Throw that sucker out the corner.
All right, let's call that good and let's clamp her down. Just get it finger tightened right now. All right, grab the ratchet and we'll get her tightened.
Quick.
There's that. There's that. There's that, and then I think putting a longer extension on might help get to this one. It sure did. Made it super easy. Alright. Alright. And then, but it's too long for that back one, you see? Alright. Boom, done. Valve covers are done. Now on to the spark plugs, which will be 3 of 4 will be easy. 4 of 1, or 1 of 4. It's gonna be so easy. And I might grab the air compressor and try to blow out this spark plug hole a little bit. It seems like there's a bunch of shit packed up around it. Yeah, I'm guessing helps performance or something. I don't know why else you'd have it there. What is all that? That's just hard mouse nest? Like I can't even put my finger in it. Oh, it's just like was hood liner or something. Yeah, let's grab the blowgun quick and we'll blow that out. And it's blown out, just like that. That one's super fun to get to. Oh man. For as new as these spark plugs wires look, they sure don't want to come off. There's one. Twist and pull. The twist and pull method, ow, got it done. Oh. Oh, that one tore the old thingamajig off of it, so we'll have to get a pliers on that one and pull that off. That means we only got 7 of 8 good spark plug wires for spares. Nope, we got 6 because this one just tore in a completely different place that I didn't even know. Didn't even think about looking. So that's cool. Oh, wow. And the boot's still stuck on there, as you can, oh, Jesus. Let me find a pliers here. Where was that pliers that I was gonna steal? I don't want needle nose, I just want a regular pliers here. Let's see if we can get said thing off this spark plug. Oh, they really don't give you any room behind that AC pump. Let's get in there and see if we can get this deal off here at least. Yeah, there we go, we got that boot off. It'd be easier if it goes all the way this way now. Can I sneak in there? I don't know. This is the dumbest thing ever. What am I, like 2 bolts away from this pump just coming off? And then what do I do with it? There we go. Is this where I need to go through? Excuse me. Yeah, we'll just get in there with our hands and do it. Okay, cool. Now that all the spark plug wires are off and broken, let's get getting the spark plugs out. Does this even, do I even have a remote fighting chance of actually getting this number one plug?
Oh yeah.
Oh, baby. Well, maybe.
Get that ratchet out of there before you can.
Well, I always have room for that. There we go, break that one loose. Get up on there we go. That one's kind of
Loose.
a little tighter, but you know, whatever. Let's get this last one at least broke loose. There we go. That's broken loose. One's not broken loose enough to be able to do by hand. Plug looks about the same condition as the last ones did. The other rack, which is good. This one is definitely tight. Couldn't tell you why. Let's look at it and maybe it'll tell us why. Nothing tells me why that should be tight. Okay. Here we get, that one's not broken loose enough neither for the hand method. What is going on here? There we go. Plug number 3. Again, not the worst looking plug ever, but we got news. Let me see here. Yes. shoot up the threads a little bit. That's gonna be cool to get started again, but no big deal. All right, got all 4 plugs out on this side. Got 4 new bad units going in. Again, start them by hand if possible. This AC pump is super inconvenient. So help me God, this AC better work when I'm done with it. Yes. Come on. Start. Oh, maybe this is the right hand. Maybe the right hand is the right hand for this job. Very nice. Started. All 4 plugs are hand started. This is some of the goodest news. The goodest news. Oh. All right. Roll the AC compressor back up. Send this through its little window that it has. And tighten it down. Oh. Tight. Can we just hit his brother quick? Also, while we're here, nice. Okay, the front 2 are tight. That means we just got the back 2 to get to, which is not a problem. It's a good sound. Went to the floor. There we go. 2 more to go, and the plugs are in. Nice and tight. And
As the old German gynecologist used to say, gluten tight.
Almost. Nice. There we go. All 4 of these plugs are in. Next thing will be the cap, rotor, and then plug wires. And then hopefully I bet you the ultrasonic cleaner you should go turn the heater off on that.
I reset it not too long ago.
Oh, did you?
I didn't turn the heater off.
Okay. But next thing will be get the old spark plug wires, cap and rotor done. And that'll take care of our ignition system. I'm not gonna do anything with the points. They were in pretty decent shape when we got the car, and I had to just file them, sand them a little bit. I mean, I'll take another look at them while we're here, but like I said, not too worried about them. Yep. Oh no, I just broke another vacuum tee now. Gosh, dang it. Gosh dang it. Where do those run into? Just the intake? What is happening here? Oh, that's just PVC. That's all that does. But still, gosh dang it. All right. All right, I got the new cap and rotor tossed on already. Next thing I'm gonna do is run some plug wires. And to do that, I'm just gonna cheat and go one by one, as if the old cap was on there. Let me figure out where the first wire I wanna find goes. All right. This will be the first wire that I try to find. I'm just gonna hand them off to Josh and he'll match them up, I guess.
This one seems close, but it might not be. They might not be the same size.
They're probably not gonna be the same size, and they just need to be close. This guy ran and...
Oh, I lied. This one's the exact same size.
Well, now Josh, that's gonna be a problem. Thank you. Yes, these spark plug wires feel very high quality.
Do they?
I felt higher quality things.
Do they feel professional series?
Well, obviously professional series. Otherwise, we're just wasting our time.
The fit demanded by pros.
Okay. Oh, that wire's fucked too. Hey, it might be a good thing we're doing wires. I'm finding more and more nuisances in the wires.
A little shorter.
We'll take a little shorter.
Maybe this one right here.
Probably won't hurt.
This spark wire is fucked too? Oh yeah.
It's got a spot in it. Oh, shit. Looks like you already knew, man. There we go. There we go. We get to the other side of the car. All right, so now when it doesn't start, we'll know to check firing order. There we go, that's that. All right, let me grab the new belts and start laying them in here. Longest one will be for the AC. Yeah, we got 2 belts that work. That one is not much adjustment there, but so the AC is wrong.
Needs to be like an inch bigger,
It needs to be a little bit longer.
like an inch or so.
Yeah, and it doesn't pay to put the other belts on until we get that one. Cool. Great. Grand. Alrighty then. I guess let's go put a carburetor back together. Alright, got the carb all ultrasonic cleaned up, so let's start the reassembly process of this guy, actually, and let's see what we all got here. Alright guys, welcome back. It's the next day. Camera died while rebuilding the carburetor last night. Didn't hear it die, I guess, and continued rebuilding the carburetor with it off, you know, but we got the old carburetor all put back together here. As you can see, she's all nice and clean back together, but I need to get us a base gasket. As you can see, this one isn't really going to do its thing anymore. I also need to get another T valve here, little T, replace some of these vacuum lines, and another T for back there that I remember that I broke right there. That guy has a broken T in him. So that kind of puts us on a slight hold for the engine department. I mean, like, we got the new plug wires in, we got the new plugs in, we got the new cap, rotor, ignition's dialed, and I'm also trying to find the right size AC belt. Been to the store 3 times. They've given me the wrong size belt 3 different times, even though I've brought them the original belt to measure. I'm not sure what's going on there, so that's also been a fight. But what we can do is I can get the front end jacked up and we can put front shocks in, and then we can drain transmission fluid and do a pan gasket and filter. More or less we're after the filter. We'll replace the pan gasket because of the filter being removed. Yeah, you get it. And then also probably pull the drive shaft to do U-joints. And then we can also jack up the rear once we're all done to do rear shocks. I got rear shocks to do too. So that's where we're gonna get started, is jacking it up. I'll bring you guys in once I have it up on jack stands and we're doing the front shocks. Okay, got the front shock, new front shock here, nice and shiny, white, new. Gotta get the old one out. One nut up top on, it'll be this nut here on the new one, and then 2 bolts go in through the bottom. And we got our bushings and our nut there. Cool. Let me see if there's... Cool. They got the bolt holders. Let me... Well, it's got the bolt holders in the spring perch. I can't really show you. Maybe I can. Maybe. Let me see if putting... Yeah, I don't think I can really show you guys, but there's 2 bolt holder, like C-clip style things, 2 1/2-inch bolts run up holding the bottom of the shock, and then that 9/16 up here. So I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get this one undone first, and then we'll do the bottoms. And sometimes you have to grab them with a vice grips if they start spinning, blah blah blah. Let's see if we get lucky. I'm pretty sure that's just spinning. So the next option a guy can do sometimes is just snap this off with a long extension and the socket. So let's grab a long extension and put it through and see if we can snap it off here. See if we can utilize this hole in the rubber. I don't think we will be able to. Let's still try quick. And wouldn't you know it, that actually worked. I mean, it's stuck in the socket right now, but that ain't nothing that can't get solved. Yeah, I already got that out. And boom, cool. Wasn't so bad. Now all we have left is our 2 1/2-inch bolts that hold in the bottom of the shock. I'm just gonna grab the impact and rip them out. That was super easy. And this one has to, of course, be a problem. Let me... so, and of course, this one is just spinning that nut insert that I was talking about. So I gotta find a wrench and hold that while loosening. Ooh. And something just like that. Get the old shock out. What do we got here? Some gas charged heavy duty shock absorbers. You know what? This makes me feel good. That makes me feel like that was the cheapest option at the time, just like these are the cheapest option at this time. And they seem to be the same size, maybe a little bit longer, which probably would do this thing some good. So let's get these new ones tossed up in there. Get the old bushing out of the way. Get the new bushing in the way. There we go. Okay, now that we got, oh, where'd that nut, oh, it's still kind of there, cool. Well, we just got to get, you know, the old strut, the old shock to start in its home. Sure. See if we can get this one started. Okay, where these different thread pitches, I'm going to be a little upset if they were. Let's try this on. No? Okay, let's see what's happening here. Is this starting this? Okay, let's just knock the nut out of the way quick all together. No, I see what the issue was now. Okay. Okay. Well, we gotta find another bolt here, which shouldn't be a big deal, but let's get this guy. Ran up in there. I don't even know if that's right neither. There we go. Let me go find a nut and a bolt quick. Be right back. All right, found a bolt and nut. Let's get her put back together now. I just gotta figure out how to get the nut in where it needs to go. That's gonna be a problem. Okay. We're having problems here. I'm gonna have to find another bolt. This one just broke that nut cert loose in there now to where it just spins, so I'm gonna have to grab a vice grips, clamp that, get that loose, get that out of the way, and get back to it. I'll bring you guys back in once we're closer to being done. Okay, we're gonna be honest here. Couldn't get a pliers in there to hold that nut cert there, so did the next best thing and just ran that other bolt extra tight to hold it up in place. You know, shouldn't be a problem. Got our top bolt tightened down. This side is good to go. I mean, I do have a sway bar link that we should maybe replace too. Before I take this one off, let me make sure the new one is somewhat similar first, you know. Have had a string of getting the wrong parts in the past, so let's not make that mistake. Let's see what we got.
Shops on the same property.
You know, just gotta get new drums here. Nothing too very. There we go. Yes.
Yeah.
Man, you gotta make it look nice through the windows of the rims. Otherwise, you're gonna see a rusty drum. What are you talking about? This is This is what you gotta do. Rough. You know, now she'll look fresh when we put the rim back on.
Where did you get those ones from?
Got them from Colin.
Is that the ones that you
Yeah. All right, next thing I'm gonna do is the sway bar link. Just nut on top, bolt through it. Got a wrench up there. I'm gonna grab, let's see if I can get you guys, at least get me set up quick and then I'll grab you again. Yep, camera down. Camera still down. Yep, let's see if I can. Kind of crazy how much this thing flexed out. There we go. I don't think there was any real reason to replace these, I guess. I mean, the bushings are kind of tore up in them, but the bolt's still in one piece. So we'll get the old one out. Grab the new shiny ones and we'll put them in. Oh. They are made in the US of A though, that's good to see.
Did they walk up to the small park or what?
You can check the house, it might be in the house.
I opened the door and yelled and nobody answered.
They'll come back.
Alright.
Yeah, I should probably do something, but I really don't feel like it.
I'm gonna have to grab an assistant here quick to pull a pry bar for me, but that won't be no big deal. Oh. Oh, Jesus. There it is.
I feel like I'm looking at some Camry wiring. Some that was an American Camry and some that was not an American Camry, and they're both for the same thing. Yeah, the one here that I just put on has red, white, and black wire. The factory wire is green with black line, green with red line, and brown with red line.
Okay, I'm struggling here a little bit, guys. Just give me a minute here. Start with the nut here quick. All right, got that one started at least, that's good. We'll probably leave this loose until we do the other side also. Or else I'll just tighten it up real quick. It probably doesn't really matter. Yeah, let's just tighten her up real quick. There we go. Nice and tight. Sway bar link in. Drum painted. We can put this tire back on. And I also got some new lug nuts for it to make it really, you know, pop. So I'll get this tire on and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. And just like that, we painted the drum black in the back so it doesn't look bad behind the windows of the rims. You can barely even see it. And we got shiny new chrome lug nuts. Hell yeah. There we go. And obviously I will be getting new tires for this before my road trip. These are just put on there and see if I like the size or if I need to adjust the size type of deal. And I think I'm going to adjust the size a little bit compared to what I have on them. Going to go with a 225 instead of a 215 70R15. Just give it a little bit wider tire. But I'll get those ordered up here for next week and we should be good. That's awesome. Let's I'm just gonna go do the other side. I'm not gonna film it. Same process as this side, just need to get it done. All right, we got the sway bars, links, and shocks done in the front. Got her back down on the ground. Do need to bring my thread chasers for this guy here. He's pretty jacked up and he doesn't want to accept a lug nut, so he doesn't get one right now. Next thing I'm going to do is jack it up, put the rear up in the air so that I can take the drive shaft out, and then I'll also drain the tranny. I'll also pull the tranny pan at the same time. But we got U-joints and tranny filter to do, and let's get to it, I guess. That's about where I'm at. All right, up next, like I said, got a couple rear shocks here that we're gonna do. And these are actually pretty nice. They came with the actual holder or mount that they bolt to actually all together, so we don't even have to reuse that. We can just unbolt it from the rear end, I guess, yeah, and then from the body, and out she goes. So let's crawl under there and see what that will all entitle for us to do. All right, so we're under the car here. It looks like we unbolt it from the lower control arm mount point here. There's a nut there. That'll unhook that. And then it looks like there's two 1/2 inch 9/16, one of the two up there. And it unbolts from there. Pretty straightforward and simple. Hopefully I don't have to remove the rim to get that there. And I also noticed that this rim's got a little bit of a bend to it. I don't think it's gonna matter much. It's just in the lip. We're just fine. But okay, I'm gonna grab some tools and get to it. This whole quick shock replacement thing has been a real pain in the ass. Obviously, apparently there's nuts on the backside of this plate up here that holds the bolts. Already snapped one, so this project isn't getting 100%ed tonight, I guess, because I need to go get hardware now. But let's keep getting this out, I guess. I'm gonna see what we can do here. Well, hey, snap that one off too, but at least it's out. So that's a bonus. That's a real bonus. Yeah, just as I suspected, these shocks are woofed as well. So now the only thing left to do is get this nut off of the shock. Gotta get that guy off there. Will be the next thing we do. So cool. I'm gonna work on that. Alright, got the new shock mounting pedestal in here. Let's get a little bit more light on the situation. So we'll just slide the new shock on its mounting pedestal, or one would think. There it goes. Okay. Sure. Flat washer. Lock washer. Nut. Maybe. Oh. Let me. There we go. There we go. Now we got a bunch of brooms. I just wasn't on there all the way. Alright, cool. And then I gotta go grab a wire cutter to be able to cut this band, but you just pretty much spin this bad boy up that way. Let's grab this. Let's grab this guy and twist this so that it's more like where it's gonna need to be. And then, like I said, I gotta go grab a wire cutter. We'll cut this. This will extend up. We put our bolts in. We're done with this side. Oh. All right, got a wire cutter here. Like I said, we'll spin this up over here, cut that guy, and then it'll just go pretty much right up into place. And then we'll cut that guy off on that side later, but let's get a couple bolts in. There we go. And of course my phone would be ringing. I will be right back. Let's go see what that's about. Alright, we're back. Had a phone call, like I said. Before I left, we got one bolt in. I just got to rotate it and get this other bolt in. There we go. Drop that on my face, always good. Push bolt through. Oh, try to get nut up there, I guess. Yep, there we go, there we go, there we go. The art of feeling and not seeing. Oh, okay, there it is. Come on now. Let's see here. Come on. Got it started. Nice. Cool. Very cool. Cool, cool, cool. Oh. There we go. All right, grab the impact. I guess we'll grab. Probably, in all honesty, tight enough. There we go. Now, all we got left to do is tighten this big guy here. And this shock will be done. And then I'm gonna go move on to the other side and get that done. And that'll probably be it for the shocks then, obviously, since it'll be all four corners. So I'll bring you guys out when I go to drop the rear drive shaft, because we're going to be doing U-joints also. So I'll get you guys out then. Alright guys, I'm probably actually going to call it a night. I know I said I was going to jump to the drive shaft. I'm kind of running out of time tonight. Got the shocks done. Those were a lot more of a fight than I was really anticipating, I guess. But we got them in, got the tires back on. So, just do a little bit of recap here. What I need for next week is base gasket, AC belt, because the third one that I've tried is wrong. And like I said, keep giving them the original belt and they just can't figure it out. I don't know. So, and then after that, we'll get her up in the air and get the drive shaft out to do U-joints and do transmission service. So hopefully next week we'll actually go take this thing on a pretty legitimate cruise at the end of the video, see how she does. But thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe if you want to join along for Poverty Tour with me, because I will be filming it all. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.